essentially spotted that people will turn to the internet to seek for ideas and solve their particular problems. So you started answering the specific questions they had one by one, and essentially building a tribe, like Seth Godin says it, because I think this is one of your other intellectual heroes. So this is how it came about to your second. Was it a discovery of how to combine and build an audience around that content platform that you've built, or it originated from the fact that you've been putting consistently content out there that you've...
Well, we need to differentiate audience from tribe.
Oh.
I think audience is an content marketing concept.
Oh.
The thing about content marketing is ultimately all about definitions, right? What meaning you put to words. The notion of an audience is this idea that you have control over a channel where you can essentially broadcast to a wide array of people who may or may not be interested in what you have to say. Mostly in the industrial economy, unless you tuned into a particular channel, for example, you were just a victim of other people's messaging, and that messaging was ultimately driven by whoever controlled the channel. So that's the notion of an audience. I don't think we have an audience. I think what we have is the prospect of individual relationships with individuals. Because when people come across us, be it via a social media piece, or via YouTube, or via our websites, those individuals are there having that experience with us as an individual, not as part of some perceived wider collection of people. And so understanding that, your proposition is designed specifically to speak to those individuals. So once I'd laid down everything I knew out of my head into our content proposition, I thought, well, I'm done now. How the hell am I going to develop this? Well, the way that I settled on developing it was just to make myself available to answer people's questions. So I invite people to ask me questions. So what was going on there was that they were giving me access to facts and circumstances that I couldn't even dream of, right? And allowed me to illustrate how the knowledge that I have of my expertise, as applied in those, every single set of circumstances being different, in those circumstances, I'm able to augment my own knowledge, and I'm able to document my own knowledge and supplement the content proposition on an ongoing basis, such that ultimately you end up with a situation where a large part of your content pool has been specifically designed in such a way as to receive a question which has been asked in natural language, and then having answered that question using natural language. And at that point, at some stage in the future, Google's going to catch up and are going to know exactly what you're talking about. And when you realize in the information economy what we have is such a massive amount of information that the trick is to be found. And then if you can be found, make sure that you are remembered. And that's where the remarkable nature of your proposition kicks in. So that's the essence of content marketing. So I prefer to settle an audience belongs to content marketing, and a tribe belongs to intelligent content marketing, because you've had individuals in mind at every step of the way. And it's not just about coming up with so-called personas, which are, in a sense, a figment of our imagination. What you're able to do is actually develop your content proposition about real human beings and what they're all about. So that's what I think amounts to the generation of a tribe. Because our tribe today, the immigration tribe, is at least 150,000 strong. And I call that 150,000 strong tribe as a result of 150,000 sets of discrete relationships that I've created. The majority of whom I've never met, but I've had sufficient dealings with them because of what they have done on our websites, and because what I've been able to supply them when they've reached out to me. that I know that I have relationships with people that amount to really meaningful relationships for them, but also for us, because we know that those relationships and the remarkable nature of our service proposition are able to basically just perpetuate and propagate. So you tap into the natural dynamics of the forces that are unleashed when you've created a tribe.